I'm Felix. Welcome to this quick video tour of a 2018 Alpine A110 Legend. Alpine, which is part of the Renault group. This is the Alpine A110, a very well reviewed car, a fantastic driver's car, super lightweight and very quick and good fun to drive. I know there are loads and loads of reviews of this car on YouTube. I'm not going to do a review or anything like that. I'm just going to have a little walk around this particular car, show you some of the things I like about it, some things which are interesting, and just give you a little bit of a tour, really. First thing that you might notice are these yellow tinted daytime running lights. So this is a non-standard custom option that we did on this car. I think it looks really cool. It's cheap to do, cheap and easy, and makes the car look like the original Alpine from the 1970s. Which I think is lovely. So this is the Legend model. That's the sort of the top of the range of the standard range. There were some higher spec ones which were sort of limited run when the car first came out. I think they were called the Premier Edition, but in terms of the sort of regular range, this is the nicest one. I left the front open here so I can show you the extremely limited front storage. I know that might interest some people. It's hard to show you how small the front storage really is. It's not that big. Here's my hand for scale. I mean, it's maybe like a foot deep. One thing, if you ever own an Alpine A110, you'll notice that it drains the battery very quickly when it's not being used. So you're going to need one of these battery trickle chargers. And also, because the battery is hidden way back here, you're going to have to sort of disassemble this whole sort of inner tray thing to get one of these chargers in the first place. It's a bit of a pain, I must say, but we managed to do it, and that's how we keep it charged up. Okay, so there are a few options on this car. I mean, the first one is clearly Alpine Blue, which is that's the paint colour. Absolutely sensational paint on this. I think if you're going to have a colour, you really can't go wrong with Alpine Blue. Next option of note are probably the wheels. So this car has the 18-inch Fuchs alloy wheels, which are slightly different to the standard design which comes on the Legend. This has got Michelin Pilot Sport 4 tyres. Also has the blue brake calipers, which is another option. I think they look pretty cool. So this car is a 2018. It has, it's done some miles. It's not brand new, so maybe this will give you a look at what a non-brand new Alpine looks like. Alpine crests on the fuel filler, that is an option as well. Very cool. I love, this is one of my favourite design features of all, is the air intake here, which is real, and combined with the French flag there. I think that's super cool. I'll show you the back. Another option on this car is the sport exhaust system. Unlike a Porsche or something like that, there's no way to turn it on or off. It's just sort of on all the time. And especially when you go into sport mode, it does sort of turn on, but there's no dedicated sort of exhaust on-off button, if you get what I mean. It comes on with the sport mode. And it sounds great. I'll show you the rear storage here. You release it with this little button up here. And there it is. It's super tiny. It's hard to really show you. I mean, you've got a bit, it does go back a little bit, but not that far. There's the back. Really, you're talking 2 backpacks size maximum in here. And also, slightly annoyingly, you'll find that the sort of guttering system around this boot seal is quite, well, it does attract a lot of dirt and it gets sort of trapped in there. So, yeah, not the best design. If you want to open up the this rear glass and get to the engine, personally, I wouldn't advise it. It's a huge pain. And requires a lot of sort of manual knobs. There's no nice release for it, and there's no gas strut. It's all done with by hand. It's definitely not easy. Other than that, I think we've had a good look around the exterior. Such a cool shape. Such a cool shape. Front and rear parking sensors. That's standard on this particular trim. Yeah, let's jump in and have a look at the interior. I'll show you the key. Key's always interesting. So here's the key. It is it's a Renault Clio key, really. It's a Renault Clio key inside, but they give you a lovely little sort of like a leather wallet for it, which makes it look a lot more premium and fancy. But it really is a Renault Clio key on the inside. Of course, there's another Renault Clio over there. Obviously big fans of the Renault group here in this family. But yeah, of course, Alpine being part of Renault, you'll find that a lot of parts here on the interior are shared with Renault. Sort of makes sense. So we've got a brown interior in this Alpine. A bit unusual, but quite cool. These are these beautiful Seatbelt seats in this car, which are super comfortable. These aren't the sort of buckets, these are the more touring style seats, which look sporty, but they're more comfortable than regular, you know, full-on sort of track day sport seats. This car's owned by my dad, and my dad's quite tall, has quite long legs, so he's had this special piece here added onto his seat, probably a one-of-one option. I think it might be the only Alpine in the world with this option. He's had a custom shop add this piece onto the front of the seat to give him better support under his thighs. It's actually been done very well by a company here in London. They've added this bracket and sort of painted it and powder coated it, so it looks almost factory. And the leather match, I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up well, the leather match is very good. It's not perfect, but it's very good. We've got things like lovely aluminium pedals, and I'll jump in and show you around the interior properly. So yeah, not super high miles in this car, under 4,000 miles. This is an option to have the blue badge in the centre here. Just looking around. The car is really, really great to drive. I mean, the driving experience is second to none. You know, loads of reviewers will tell you that, how great it is to drive. But there are lots of things in here in terms of the interior which are a bit weird, I find. Just a bit interesting. You have this Renault Clio style media controller here, so you can to cycle through tracks and change the radio, to change the volume and things like that. That sort of makes sense. You've got some cruise control stuff, so cruise control settings here, but then to control most of the other things, so to actually turn the cruise control on or to turn on the speed limiter, it's these buttons down here, which I always find are sort of dangerously close to the parking brake, which is a bit weird, but yeah, I guess c'est la vie. Yeah, there's also extremely limited storage in here. So in terms of glove box, none. Door bins, none. There's this little spot here in the middle, so there's this lovely little slot where you can sort of put your phone, although it's not very big. There is this little sort of area under the console here where you can sort of maybe plop a couple of cables or maybe a mobile phone, but again, very, very small. On this side, yeah, no door bins, no cup holders in the entire thing. In terms of practicality, it really is quite limited. But what you get in exchange for that is lots and lots of headroom. So the car is very spacious. My dad's quite tall, and he fits in here absolutely beautifully, and really, really loves it for that. Probably that's the major reason why he bought it. The Legende has got focal speakers, sort of focal sound system. Sound system is surprisingly good for this car. These floor mats here are custom. One's made by the same people who made this bolster. They made custom floor mats, and they look really, really cool. There's your sport button there. If you hold it down, it goes into race mode. All the digital dials change. Got beautiful French flag, and the way the paint colour it continues onto the inside, I think is really nice. And then we've got a bit of like carbon fibre effect trim as well in here, and carbon fibre effect on the top of this, central binnacle there as well. In terms of other storage, I mean, as I said, it's super, super limited in here. I mean, we've got a tiny bit of storage here. That's where your 12-volt socket is. And you have, I mean, maybe that, would you class that as a cup holder? I'm not even sure I would, because it's so shallow. I mean, any cup would just fall out of there straight away. You've got your sort of ashtray thing, which has got some cables in it. Probably one of the less good things about this car is the head unit. This screen system, I mean, it's not the best. It's definitely not the best. It doesn't support Android Auto or Apple CarPlay natively, so you've got to use a sort of workaround app called MySpin, which is, I'd say, not great. To be honest, you end up just popping your phone on here and just using Google Maps. That's what I do, at least. There's a look at the digital dials, and there's it in sport mode, and if I hold this, it'll go into race mode, or track mode. There you go, track mode, and then back into sport mode. Yeah. And then back into normal. Yeah, it's super cool. I mean, this has got a fantastic Getrag gearbox in it. It's a very, very fast car and a very, very fun car to drive. But yeah, if your interior storage is your goal, rather than having fun while driving, this is not the car for you, for sure. But I hope you've enjoyed this little quick tour. I'm just thinking of other cool stuff to show you. I think I've probably covered almost everything. Again, yeah, no glove box. If you're ever, this was a problem that we had, and I'll just mention this in the video, just in case anyone ever cares. If you're ever looking to try and find the OBD port, or the diagnostic port in this car, as well as the fuse box, they are behind this panel here, and you can't get to them if you reach around the back. So what you've got to do is you've got to pull this whole black panel here, which is where the glove box should be. You've got to pull the whole thing off. And if you pull it off, you'll see everything is nicely exposed and facing towards you. If you try and reach around the back, it won't work. It took us ages to figure that out, but eventually we did. It's all in there. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this this quick tour, and let me know if you have any questions at all. Have a good day. Cheers.